Watching an ant come and eat that for the next 5 minutes, you watch an ant for 5 minutes, it will slow you down. Just watch an ant do its thing. Carry a piece of leaf for 5 minutes, just pause and watch. It teaches you so much.
If you could have superpowers for organizing, what would it be?
Like I'm a huge Harry Potter fan and and Game of Thrones and
Yes.
thing, and I watch so Wingardium Leviosa
Things starts levitating.
and levitating. You don't have to take the weight of it, and we start shifting it to places where people need.
Which ancient practice from your book would you turn into a TikTok challenge?
Honestly, I've never used TikTok.
I like you. You're a very good person.
The food rituals, like if you see using an object like that silvatta or the stone grinding thing. So I was very enamored, or a pickle jar for pickling. I started writing on that. I started researching on those objects, food-centric objects, right?
So now talking about your book, The Art of Decluttering. So you had this, how to stay on top of your body, mind game, and there's a lot of thing going on spirituality.
Well, most of us have some sort of ancestral background, and God and faith plays a huge role in it.
Hello and welcome to another brand new episode of OP Talks of Orissapost Lives, where we have podcast, what you would love to call, we love to call it a conversation. Now, before we begin our conversation, there's one thing that really bothers us, that, somewhere we all are a bit cluttered in our thoughts. We are cluttered in our, phone, media, whatever. Anyway, we are kind of cluttered in our thoughts, the way we live, and these kind of thoughts, this kind of messy life has brought us with our guest, Bhavana Pingali, an author of the book, The Art of Decluttering. And also, she leads Revastra, a platform that combines fashion and spirituality into a one big umbrella and makes it functional so that people like us can actually focus on our life and take inspiration from her. Now I can go on and on and on about this, but you are not here to see me. We have with Bhavana Pingali, and welcome to our show.
Thank you.
Orissa Post Live's OP Talks.
Thank you so much.
And
pleasure.
Before we just go into the book and all those things,
Yeah.
you were born in Cuttack, and a lot of your thing has been Odisha.
Yes.
So can we dwell a bit on the earliest memory, something like that?
Well, yes, I was born in Cuttack. My grandfather was Odisha Administrative Service years ago, and we are originally from Andhra, who moved to South Orissa. And then, of course, because of my mom and uncles, everybody was born in Orissa in different Bonai, Jajpur, the other places, way back in post-independence and pre-independence era.
Oh.
And that's how how there's a lot of Andhra-speaking, Telugu-speaking community in Odisha, and we are part of that. But having said that, that's the reason, and my dad was in the army, so we kept traveling. So we used to have separate establishments sometimes where there were non-family postings, he commanding battalions as a colonel and stuff, or being in Kashmir. So home was always Odisha because of grandfather, my paternal grandfather, which is Ojja and Ai. And so when he was deputy commissioner in Cuttack is when I was born, and Cuttack became my birthplace. After that, I studied in Bhubaneswar, started my schooling because my mother was she was a professor in zoology in Utkal University and Odisha Administrative, the usual government thing. So she kept moving from Saidabala to Revanshaw to other places, teaching all her life, and zoology as a subject. And so after moving, I think I finished, my sister and I, we were a year apart. And she and I finished our schooling after 7 changes in schools. And last we landed in Bhubaneswar Convent, 9th, 10th, and 11th and 12th I did from BJP. So these are my memories of Odisha. And after 12th, I moved on to study undergrad design. And then I did my fashion journalism, and life started off. You know how it is, we move out of a particular place of birth and we start looking for so-called greener pastures and avenues. And that was my, so my earliest memories have been in Koraput, in Jaipur. So where my grandfather was again working there, and my mother was teaching in the college there. So I have memories of this old quaint house with tiled roofs and stone floors in Koraput as a place. And this was my great grandfather's old house. And being from Andhra, I have memories of what in Odia we call it chitta, but we call it in Telugu muggu, or in Tamil it's called kolam. So there are, that was our opening threshold. So I have memories of a mix of Odisha and Andhra. And that is how my life was. And then I would get flung to probably a Kashmir, come back, get flung to Jodhpur and Rajasthan, come back to Odisha. So home turf has been Odisha, always keep coming back to base, as they call it. And my dad would say that. So that's how it is. And after the memories of Cuttack have been my Ruchika, the little first school I went to. And memories of Sambalpur, where my dad was commanding a battalion and he was there for a few years, was little in a place called Guha Lane in Sambalpur, near a church, and small little house. And so I have beautiful memories and very free and very mixed nativity, I would say. That's my childhood, and rituals or practices were a part of that.
So now talking about your book, The Art of Decluttering. So you had this, how to stay on top of your body, mind game, and there's a lot of thing going on spirituality.
Yeah.
So can we dwell on that region?
Well, most of us have some sort of ancestral background.
Yes.
And God and faith plays a huge role in it. It could be any religion. I'm not talking, it's religion agnostic. But when it comes to God and faith, there are some fear-based, faith-based, love-based, belief systems that every human is born with, part of a tribe or a community. I think that was the same with me. And as I said, it was a mixed cultural identity for me coming from Andhra and Odisha. So the cultures, even the languages, it was a bit of a mix.
Yes.
So spirituality also came in, be it, it's the land of Lord Jagannath, and the whole spiritual aspect was a part of my grandparents' upbringing. And having an army and a mother who was in her own way quite a free spirit. She was not very typically religiously ritualistic, who I call Amma in Telugu, and Nannagaru is dad in Telugu. So we used to address them as Nannagaru and Amma. So my dad was a little more religious and ritualistic than my mom, because he had more of a North Karnataka and Andhra upbringing. So my dad's side of the family is Kannadigas. So it's a mix there. So we have like 3 states already blending in.
Wow.
So ritualistically and religiously, we were a little bit of a, I would say, multi-hyphenated kind of a family. And so when God and faith came, it became more spiritual in a lot of sense. When I use the word spiritual, it is questioning. You're not literally saying that this is the right or this is the wrong. There were grays, and grays were accepted in our upbringing to question a few things and not do something. So which gave us enough voice to say that I don't want to do this or I want to do this. There was no gunpoint.
Yeah.
I think that was my first premise with my parentage, upbringing in terms of army or whatever. Culturally, we are moving from Rajasthan to seeing Kashmir when we were younger, to a lot of people don't travel. And travel gives you a lot of exposure. When you're meeting people, and I think travel is a spiritual experience. It teaches you so much more. And my parents taught us the root of spirituality more than religion-based was books and travel and people, humanity, or just be good to people. I think this was something, I think every human being learns that as a first premise. That's something I don't think any parent will go wrong in it unless there is a fundamental problem. So this was our premise, and spirituality became something which we were anyway living. There were rituals, and if you don't want to do something, it's okay, do it. Do this much, you can step back, you don't have to. And when you're about 17 or 18, you start charting your own path. And when we were young, we didn't have digital. We didn't have phones.
Luckily.
We didn't have, any of these, internet and, media, and now the AI and all of that. So our lives were much more probably, I'm not saying good or bad, but it was just different initially. Now we want to call that good. And but having said that, everything has its own pros and cons.
Very less of distraction, I guess.
Yes, probably. But again, I was a very distracted child. So I think spirituality came in through my parents, through these books, that grounding came in. So that was what was interesting. And rituals and practices were around us, within us, with people, with things. And objects are carriers of any particular ritual or practice every single day. Like if you light a diya, the lighting of the diya is the practice or the ritual. The practice is the act, and the ritual is when you do it every single day and you make it a habit. the diya itself is the material object.
Yes.
Right? So similarly, every ritual or a practice has a material object attached to it almost. So if you look back into your own religious or functional or spiritual rituals or sacred, you call it. So this is how I opened out a lot of my thinking, I guess. And when I studied design, I realized in undergrad, clothing was a big thing that opened out for me. Sketching that opened out to me, or travel that opened out to me, craft. And everybody, as I kept traveling across states in India since I was 18, I studied in Chandigarh, I worked and lived in Delhi, then I moved to Hyderabad, then Bombay, then back to Gurgaon, then to Calcutta, then now in Bangalore. So I've lived in cities, I've lived in small towns. So half your life is in small towns, and the next half is in cities.
Yeah.
So it teaches you, you reach a seeker's mentality. It's nothing to do with an age. You start questioning, but questioning with a will to understand, not to really rebel or become argumentative for the sake of an argument. You really want to know. And that knowingness is what I call spirituality. That seeking, that will to know something. And when you see what is happening within you, so it's an outward and an inward journey, constant movement. And everybody goes through it. And that was there, I think, because of my parents, because of and we need to just identify it in our environment and who we are with and stuff like that. I think that's a good start. And I guess, as I said, these practices and rituals were there, be it Odia or Telugu, and it goes into your subconscious mind. It stays with you, creates impressions, and the memories. And there are emotions attached to memories, objects, emotions, memories. This began, I started documenting them when I had I lost my dad, then I had my baby at the same time, I had my baby and then I lost my dad in that order, just a few months after. And then my mother was alone, handling her, then she went through dementia. There were a lot of, everybody goes through their own pivotal points where I think spirituality helps. It could be a religion or the seeking mentality. And that gives you some anchoring. It gives you some grounding. Now, I'm not saying somebody walking in the hills is spiritual. For somebody picking up leaves is spiritual. For somebody lighting a diya is spiritual. For somebody praying to an idol is spiritual. Reading a text is spiritual. It can be any act.
Now, there's a thing, this coming out of, from a very curious point of taking your notes that one should ask. And I will be asking it without thinking, they're just going to ask it. So people usually, I have seen, they confuse religion and spirituality as one thing. Is it?
I'm no expert to talk on this, to be honest, because I'm no anthropologist or I'm not somebody who studied both. It's an experience for me. Whatever I know is from my childhood and whatever I know is from my professional and personal life. I think it's different for everybody. Religion both can have rituals, both can have practices, both are seeking in nature, both have a practice or community-based aspect. So both, I feel, are a part of human existence. Yes. The confusion that happens is when religion becomes a dogma. This is my understanding. Dogma is an imposition.
Yeah.
Somebody is forced to do something out of their free will. Then it's a problem. But if you believe it's your faith, if you believe that that's your God, it can be a stone or it can be a river, and that becomes sacred, then that's your religion. And if you believe that the same thing without any tugs and pulls of things, and you are a singular entity, you come into this world singularly, you go singularly. So if you believe that singularity is seeking, then in that singular space you're seeking, then it can become your spiritual. So religion can become your spiritual path.
Oh, wow.
And your spirituality can become your religion. It is entirely up to a human how they perceive it. For me, yoga, I don't sit and do puja in front of an idol. But for me, every single day I do my meditation or my yoga. And that is my religion and my spirituality, probably. I don't know. I look at it this way. It's wrong or right, I have no idea.
It's completely fine. I'm saying that you just mentioned meditation. So whenever we hear the words decluttering or something, does meditation have some impact on that?
So firstly, meditation is, right now we use the word healing. I also use it in my writing or my workshops or my teaching. That's what I do. Healing, meditation, these are very very English-wise words which have been used, the buzzwords. It's very hard. Nobody can teach you meditation. You cannot understand meditation. It is, you just learn, there is a difference between learning a technique and when you apply it, having the knowledge of something is easy, but when you apply it, only when it becomes a wisdom is when the knowledge makes sense. And that is, it will only happen very organically. So meditation is a very organic thing. You can just learn the technique, hold a candle, sit and stay still. Somebody can tell you that. But what happens after, nobody can tell you. And will you be able to sustain it? No idea, even you can't tell. So meditation is a very broad thing, and I've whatever study I've done in yoga and meditation in the last few years. Again, these are subjects which are very vast. You can have 100 lives and you can never finish these topics. But as I keep applying every single day, some days I meditate and I realize, oh, why did I buy this? Coming back to practicality. Why did I buy this sari? Or why did I buy this particular, suppose I'm wearing rings or something. Why did I buy silver? Why did I buy anything in gold or anything? That moment of epiphany, I'm like, okay, next time maybe I will try to. You forgive and you move to the next moment.
Oh.
For me, that has helped me, is where that I reach a pause. I breathe and I pause, I come back to my body instead of trying to think 100 things and analyzing and intellectualizing and going into ego. I just sit still and say, okay, it's okay. Let this thought pass like a cloud.
Mm-hmm.
Those moments have been meditative. I don't know if it's meditation, but it is meditative.
It's like being more focused towards what's happening around you and then just accepting it.
Yes.
Is it like
right now, as we are talking, there's a music playing in the background. It's your
Yes,
choice. I'll get disturbed with it, or I just try to block it. As we are talking, we are not actually giving any attention to it.
Yes.
Initially, when we started, we were focused on the lyrics.
Yes.
Now that where I send my energy is, I decide if it will affect me or not. So I realize that this is it. And every time I want to come back to this awareness, that meditation is a moment of meditative moment. That's it. I cannot become the next guru and sit in stillness for the next 100 years. I can't become the Uguay in Kung Fu Panda. You know, I love him. I mean, I love his character. And look at most of these animation movies have one character which is very spiritual or evolved.
Yes.
Or, you know, suddenly they'll talk the most philosophical things in the most simplest of ways. And I keep saying this, and this is an affirmation or auto-suggestion to myself, complicating is easy, simplifying is complex. And I find that the most difficult thing to do.
Complication is easy?
Simplifying is complex.
Wow.
Because we end up reading up so much, learning so much, we are hungry all the time, greed of information, intellectualization, knowledge, wisdom. I went through all that phase. I'm not saying I've arrived, but I'm still in that phase. But I realized, okay, calm down. That's enough. Don't. That for me is decluttering, is that space where I stop. And I'm like, okay, still. Right now, am I looking at my phone and I want to buy it? Will I swipe and buy? Take a breath. No, switch off.
Okay.
I will come back. Withdrawing. And that moment is, I think 1 on 10 times I would probably not do 0, probably a few years ago. With age, with probably experience of life, no experience of spirituality and religion, but generally, you just realize that you just know that this is a space I will step back. So out of 1 on 10 times you are overdoing, or underdoing, you know that 7, 8 times you've reached some balance and you've come out.
Yeah,
so next time it will be 9 times. Some days it'll come back to 2, and some days it'll go to 9. So this is it. And we can never reach that decluttered Zen. We all try to achieve that Zen space. There is no Zen space, to be honest. It is almost impossible to say that I will reach it and, we will focus on it 24/7. I think that is very hard on us ourselves.
Oh my God.
It's
enlightening. Exactly. Does physical sphere decluttering impacts our mental sphere?
This is a chicken and egg story.
Okay.
Which comes first, which comes later, everybody will have their own perspectives. So that it's like, I can talk about myself. Again, no expert point of view. It's about the fact that I've been writing as a profession. My bread and butter has been writing and teaching. I write and I teach how to write. This is my fundamental thing. And in between, I started using design and sketching and other things to build Rivastra. So for me, these are other elements. But having said that, every single day when I want to do something, I end up first cleaning my desk. This is a ritual, right? I will make sure that I want, and you will see, you will find your own ritual to, there is a focal point and you will reach that focal point. Only if you do A, you will reach B.
Yes.
It's a flow chart or whatever you call it. Or you will say, maybe I will go and have a bite and then go and meet a friend. There is some flow chart in your head for something. Yeah. So, coming back to your question, I think that decluttering, I end up doing that cleaning first and then I write. But there are days I get up in the morning and my head feels very this thing, and I'm used to writing journals. I take a pen and paper. Over the years since I was a kid, I write. And I doodle, I sketch, I write, and I would just, even in class, I would get scolded in school. I was very academically a very weak and a poor student in maths and every way, like Tare Zami Pe situation for me. So I couldn't understand algebra. They were just images and get confused, utterly confused with steps. And I was a wreck. And I flunked in my 9th maths, and I never got beyond 30 till I reached 10th mock final. 5, 8, 7, 16, 18 out of 100. That is how I cleared my maths throughout my life. So I'm sure a lot of us go through whatever subjects. But my point is that coming back to your question is decluttering versus this. So what led to the other, I have no idea, right? Sometimes I get up, I start journaling and doodling, and then I have the energy to probably make my bed. You're seeing the difference. There are days I get up, I can make my bed. I'm talking of having a child who's a teenager now at this stage of my life. And you have to, every single day, like the sun, you get up and you will set. You get up and you set. This is the action. You have to make the bed, you have to cook, you have to take care, you have to do this. So this is how it works. So if you ask me physically, am I first decluttering or am I first doing my this thing? I don't know. Every day is different.
Okay.
One leads to the other. It's cyclical. There's no beginning, there's no end. So I cannot tell you that this will work or that will work. But doing it consistently is the only challenge, and trying it. So every morning you know that you can't leave a bed undone, right? You will have to make it. Now you make it at 6 in the morning, or you make it at 10, or you first journal and then make, or first make the bed then journal. That's a chicken and egg story. Both are rituals.
So this
both help in decluttering.
Yeah, it's actually good. The way you said the chicken and egg story, it actually makes sense now. Yeah. A lot of sense.
Because we put that pressure on trying to find which is the chicken, which came first. First, second nahi hai yahan pe. There's nothing like that, right? I mean, you just have to just do it.
The thing that you mentioned about journals, does maintaining journals have some impact on your life?
So there's this, there's something called Morning Pages, which is Cameron, now Julia Cameron. Yes, she's the writer. She's written a book called Morning Pages, and does a lot of artistic work and journaling. So she says, according to her, 3 pages of journaling every morning is something which is a dump when you get up in the morning or before you sleep at night.
Dump.
It's like I'm sorry I'm using this word, it's like throwing up on paper. You just purge, you cleanse from
3
inside.
pages.
She says 3 pages. Psychologists and people will tell you many ways, because there is a neurological our senses, our touch is a sense. One of, in yoga, it's called the indriya. So skin and touch is one, and the rest of it is on our head. So hearing, seeing, smelling, tasting, everything is here. So when you activate all of them as children, if you notice, not just as children, our grandparents and parents would, in Odia we call it dholi dholi ki padiya. Right?
We do this,
There is a movement. And Chinese would tie their hair on top, and so that they don't fall. So repetition of auditory repetition is listening. The more you speak or listen, the better you speak. The more you read, the better you write. Those are all interconnected. So writing is a neuro action, because you're using your nerves, and I'm forming, and it's visual. And when we would write as children, we would write and say it aloud. Mukhastha kariva, that verbatim as we call it. Oral. There were no documentation for the longest time. It was oral tradition, stories or text and everything. So it goes back to that ritual where your body and mind is one. There's no, it's called body mind.
Okay.
It's not mind and body. It's body, mind, it's together. One impacts the other. But having said that, all your senses are engaged. And what happens in a digital space? It is a tactile, but the fact is, it's not word forming. It is touch, just touch. We're just typing. We're not forming the word. We're not forming the alphabet. So journaling, they say that it takes out. I don't know. For me, it's just been helpful over the years, and I just can't stop journaling. I make sketches with my journals. I write with it. And this was the premise of my book. Because over the years, as this book is not like one night, overnight idea, 15, 20 years I've been journaling and ideas have been here and there. They're like dots floating around. And then during COVID, I thought, okay, let me connect the dots. And that's how the proposal of the book came along for me. Because I was already doing things and I was upcycling, recycling, teaching, writing about fashion, culture, design, rituals, going back and questioning my past, spirituality, yoga. There were a lot of things which are happening. And if you look back, you will have 100 things which are happening in your head and your body and your environment.
Yes.
Your wardrobe is a reflection of that.
Yes.
Right? So we have extensions of all this. So I realized that the more I learn, the more clutter I'm gaining. And that simplifying to that thing I said, that it's very hard to simplify, it is now letting go of the clutter is very hard, because I've got attached to all the knowledge and all the things and all the emotions and all that. I have like probably kept them like pets. They're like, we're taking care of them. It can be a negative thought, it can be a thing extension, or it can be a phone, digital photographs. I mean, if you look at, I'm horrible at digital decluttering. I've written, ironically, a book on decluttering, and digital decluttering is not my game. Because I'm sitting right now as I speak with 7,000 photographs in my phone, and they're all over. So it is really very hard. I mean, I could have written a book, but this is not something just simple. Because now my next stage is I have to plug in that phone, start putting them in folders, putting them in drives. And a lot of these digital companies will teach you how to clutter your life more, because they're making you buy storage space.
Yes. Yes, actually.
So they are encouraging clutter, and we are buying it, and then we say, oh, we are getting digitally cluttered, right? And we take pictures instead. And I'm saying that I'm that. I go there and I like something, I keep clicking pictures. I can pause and look at that instead. But I'll click 5 pictures of it, because I want to keep it as a memory.
And then 1 month down the line, we'll never look at it.
Forgotten the picture. Visual memory stays. Now, I don't know which month have I clicked that picture. I have to go back into my database for 5 years to see when did I click it, or 5 months. So there is clutter constantly now. And I don't think we can avoid it by just doing a few rituals or practices or anything, but we can start with pausing and trying to step back and plucking, that elimination. That is decluttering, taking out.
So, kind of decluttering also comes from inner discipline also. You need to have that a bit. Am I using the right word?
I didn't have it.
Oh, then I used the wrong word here, discipline.
I was never a very, I mean, there is, of course, if you're existing in this ecosystem, we all are disciplined in our own ways. Otherwise, we won't get up in the morning, we'll be depressed and whatever. That apart, every single day consistency, and I mentioned it in the book, and I said that inconsistent consistency. If I say that,
with examples,
for example, I mean, let me come back to yoga. I would try to achieve 7 days of 1 hour yoga. Right? We all try. Let's try. Or go to the gym, or let's not eat sugar for 7 days. There are rules we make for ourselves. When I was trying it, 3rd, 4th day, you fizzled out. Okay, that's human nature, and we resist and we stop. And I realized, okay, 3rd, 4th day. Then I tell myself, instead of feeling guilty and sitting with that, okay, next 3 days, 3-4 days have gone. I've not done it. Okay, let's start like the sun. Let's rise again. Start today. Next 2 days. Now look at the larger pattern. 3 days or 4 days. 4 days rest, 2 days. 5 days rest, 1 day. 20 days rest, 5 days.
Okay.
But you're coming back to the same thing. If you do it 21 days, as they say, according to yoga, 42 or 46 days, we call a mandala in yoga, and we do pranayama. I was struggling to do the meditations or pranayamas or yogic kriyas and all of that. But I realized over 10 months, I was consistently coming back inconsistently to the pranayama or the yoga. So I have made my pattern. And that's good. I haven't given up.
Nice, actually.
So if I forgive myself and say, okay, it's all right, yeah, I've forgotten today. It doesn't matter. Let's start tomorrow. 5 minute, 1 minute rule, 5 minute rule. And begin. Just start again. It's like that ant and that spider. The ant will keep going back, picking up something, coming back. You disturb the ant. I've done that as a child. You disturb the ant, you'll get distracted, but come back to that grain of sugar. That coming back is important. Not how many times. That's all. And I started saying that it's okay. I'm inconsistent, doesn't matter, but I'm inconsistently consistent.
Yeah.
I'm doing yoga. For the last few years, I've been doing yoga. I still don't clock in 7 days a week as a yoga teacher because I teach 3 to 4 days a week and the other days I do. So, okay, 4 days, 5 days, 4 days, 5 days, sometimes 7 days, sometimes 6 days. Sometimes when I'm traveling last 2 days, I'm not done. I shouldn't be like feeling heavy. Oh, I'm not done. That will push you into not doing anyways. So, might as well say, when I go back tomorrow, doesn't matter, Thursday. So that is what I feel is discipline.
Okay.
Discipline, not necessarily every day for 1 hour. Yes, that is what a psychologist or everybody is not able to do it. That's the bookish definition. It's great. At least I've not been able to for years. I'm in my 40s and I struggle. So there's fundamentally not something wrong with me. It is the process. I will keep trying. Maybe I'm 80, I'll be in the same space. It's okay. Go after 80, 90, whatever time. Or maybe you pop down dead at 60. How do you know?
That's something.
I have no idea. So that's enough.
You mentioned about, long we were having a conversation, it was like drawing to feed ants, the thing we're talking about. So, as a decluttering practice, how does it help?
Well, as I mentioned that in Koraput, Jaipur, my granny used to make the mugu outside on the threshold.
It's one with rice and
rice powder.
Rice powder.
Yes. Odisha, the chitta is with rice paste. Bengal is with rice paste. They put water. Whereas in Andhra, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and a lot of places in the south, they use only the powder. So ritualistically, they put it over cooking stoves also. They put it outside doorways. You may have seen your grandmoms and all doing it.
Yes.
May not be your parents, may not be my generation, may not be your generation. We are like 3 generations apart almost. Like maybe your parents and me, or maybe your parents and I, closer, whatever. But either ways, it definitely, the ritual has come down. But there was a reason for it. And when they used to get up in the morning every day at dawn to do this with sunrise, it used to give them an anchoring, a grounding, that discipline, what you asked, right? But they were more consistent with that discipline. And I realized I would see my grandmother do it. My mother never did it. Because she was a busy one and she would teach and we never had all that. But I was very curious about the designs. I used to find it very fascinating when you look at dots and how you connect it. It's Stanford and all have done research on this and on mugus and how it's fractals and how it's sacred geometry and all of that. So when you go back, and people have done their PhDs on this. I mean, I've spoken to Dr. Gitanjali Sachdev. She's studied the floor art designs. And so people have studied this on a very deep level from socio-anthropological level. I started questioning, coming back to the spirituality. And my grandmother would say, it feeds 1,000 mouths. Now, there was a Brahminical aspect to it, Vedic, that we are supposed to compassionately feed so many people. But physically, we can't.
We cannot.
So she says the best way is to feed ants or birds. And it's not insecticide. Now we spray and we kill. Then how did they do it? They used to hang neem leaves, or they would put the dhupar, jhuna and stuff like that. Or they would, put haldi or turmeric across. So these would repel. They were not killers. Right? So a rice thing would invite the creatures, eat at our threshold and go. Wow. So I found that very beautiful as a philosopher. That was my grandmother's tale to me when I was a child. And I would watch the ants coming and eating, the bugs, and my book has that as the opening in the chapter. And I realized that it was, when I would sit and watch this, I was calming down. Watching an ant come and eat that for the next 5 minutes, you watch an ant for 5 minutes, it will slow you down. It's a busy ant, but it slows you down. Just watch an ant do its thing. Carry a piece of leaf for 5 minutes, just pause and watch. It teaches you so much. And as a child, this was my memory. The ants eating the grains of rice. And it stayed. Forgotten. Life takes over. 20 is gone. child, 30s, married, blah, blah, all of that. 40s, when COVID hit, I started replicating them on paper. Then I said, okay, let me try it in. I'm living in a flat in Delhi and Gurgaon, and I put the mixie and I started trying in my tile floor house. They don't show up on tiles.
Not easy.
White, you can't. Chitta with the rice paste, you can't see it. But I said, okay, let me put a sheet of cardboard and try it. So when I started doing it, I was focusing. So I started rebuilding my focus through those lines and dots. And I felt my distracted mind. In my 40s, I got diagnosed with ADHD, adult ADHD. I realized as a child, I was so restless, probably because of that. Now, of course, this is a therapy and all of this is the therapist last 5 years have been in therapy. And that restlessness was calming down every time I was trying to connect the dots on paper. So I realized that I was stilling and I was focused on, there's as that holding, the journaling or doodling or joining dots. So Mugu on paper was a tweaked modern version for me. Doing it on this thing, it wasn't easy. You sit for 10 minutes on floor, squat, use and draw, your hands will not
place
work.
And without phone or something like that.
Nothing.
Full still.
And grandparents or great-grandparents for me in Andhra would do that. And I said, how did they do it? I can't replicate. So I realized, but there is this of religion, of the Brahminical aspect, of the aspect of discipline or the aspect of consistency. I wanted to bring it back into my modern living and ecosystem and my body and mind. So the only way was probably trying it. Every single day, I'm not going to wash my flat outside and put a Mugu, which many people in Bangalore where I live, and a lot of people do it. If you can, great, wonderful. If you can go back to your old world thing every single day if you're disciplined. If you find it hard, that's also great. That is what is my learning. And that helping me focus whenever I was doing it. Even today, I have a little diary when I carry a pen and a diary in my bag, and I draw 5 dots or 13 dots or 9 dots, and I try to connect it. It's an interesting mind exercise. So for me, that was my focus is what drew me back to Mugu, and Mugu was building focus back. So there was a connection. And the beautiful philosophy of feeding ants.
Yes.
I think that drawing, and every single day she would make it and wipe it off. You see the earth when they do the puja and everything in Orissa also, is the same. Chitta, then next morning they're wiping it. So your art is transient. They have no attachments. They will wipe it off. Or they'll put it on mud walls. Rain comes, then what happens? It's gone. Did they get attached to the art? They will redo it. So the discipline is in the art, and the focus is not, oh, my art, don't take it off the wall. Right? I think that's a beautiful philosophy in the ritual. And I like the philosophy more than saying, oh, I'm superior about something or the religion. No, forget that. That's not my cup of tea. But if I come back to the philosophy of why, I really enjoyed doing it. And even now I don't do it with the rice powder. Only for probably a puja or something, I probably make it. I enjoy it with a brush now, with the rice paste. And I make it with my brush or a cotton little ball of cotton, yes. Typically. Yeah. I make it for any kind of things, and I'm not very ritualistic and religious that way, but I enjoy doing that. For me, that is where I start. I find God in it, literally, I think.
Beautiful.
I find God in that ant, and I think that's what is sacred for me. And that connection is what I rebuilt with the lost ritual, through the lost ritual, the lost connection with myself and my focus in my body. Even now when I go sit at an airport and I'm really bored or something, pen and paper, and start doing the 9-dot Mugu. I practice. It's very mind-boggling. There is Alfred Bell, who's, I read his book on anthropology. He talks of these columns, and he calls it mazes, like a maze. You can't say where the line began and where it ended. Can I look at the pattern and say which is the beginning and the end in this pattern? No. It's an Aztec pattern on the carpet. It's almost impossible to say that. Similarly, Mugu is like that. You don't know. So it keeps your mind. And different lines and dots meet differently. And like a Sikku Mugu in Tamil column, they say that your life is as confused, but you try to make sense of it. So there's a lot of philosophical beauty in a lost ritual. And that philosophy, if you apply it in the modern life, it can be digitized also. So I sometimes use my this thing, like you can use it on a tab with a thing. You can do the same activity. You digitize the whole ritual for yourself.
Pretty much you need to focus on these little things.
Yeah.
And that will actually...
It can find your way back. And again, if you force yourself every single day, you have to do it at 4 in the morning, get up like my grandmother, it's not going to happen. Unless you are extremely focused and disciplined. Yes, you may reach there if you focus. But if you don't, it's fine.
Beautifully said. Beautifully
I mean,
said.
why would I hold myself at a gunpoint and
True.
say that I want to do it? Because I can't be my grandmother. I'm a different person in a different era, in a different generation.
You're you.
Yeah. And someone else is them. So their blueprint is their own. You could probably do a chitta and I'll do a muku. Or I might do both because I've related to both. Or you might just find some other sacred from Africa maybe.
Might be. Yeah.
How do? Maybe your generation loves African motifs and or anything else for that matter. A ritual you like doing from that culture. Nobody is stopping you.
The fact that you said about this ant feeding on them, when I used to see them in home, when mom or my grandmom used to do that,
yeah,
and I used to go and see ants are coming, I was like, shoo them off.
Yes.
I didn't knew it
we
well.
didn't know.
And they used to go away, and I was like, oh, ants are eating away. They were like, leave them and come away. I never knew why.
Why? Yeah.
Today I came to know.
I also got to know recently, right? At least you are much younger and you know, and maybe I'm hoping that a lot of us find these little nuggets of wisdom in some rituals which probably 10 years, 100 years from now will be lost. And good they're lost. Because if you don't lose, and there was this very nice anthropologist I've spoken to called, and he's the one who gave me, and he's Dr. Dimitris Xygalatas. He has written a book on ritual. The title is Ritual. And he talks of fire walks, walking on fire, like a lot of cultures, and a lot of other rituals, menstrual rituals, birth rituals, death rituals. He says if they don't die, you don't have the potential to evolve. There's no rebirth. We can't keep holding on to something just 1,000-year-old in the name of nostalgia and expect it to live today. You have to reform it. And this also drew me to one of the other chapters in the book is about collective stitching. Like you have Kantha in Bengal, where they would use old saris, layer it, and use old saris, change the form, and make a baby swaddle cloth or dusting cloth, whatever, or quilts. That is how it began. So I realized that if you don't cut a sari, you can't create the Kantha, no? So destruction is important for creation.
Wow.
And you cannot. How can you say, I will not destroy it? Like if you ask your grandmom, she'll be sitting with a sari, right? Or if I sit with my sari today, 20 years hence I will die. Like my wedding sari 18 years back has unraveled like that. Because I thought, oh, precious, precious nostalgia, and I'll be sitting with it. It just ripped. Then I started recycling those saris, upcycling. These premise of rituals and stitching together. Like I realized that during COVID, as Kantha, people would sit together, have conversations. Even today, what is the happiness is when you sit with people?
Yeah.
With friends for you or friends for me, or we sit and we enjoy conversations. And those moments are very happy moments. And when we do things together, we write, we have conversations, we stitch, we cook, we feed animals, do anything together. One act, common goal. So stitching was one ritual, which is such a beautiful collective ritual. And we forgot to stitch together. For a lot of women, that used to be the thing, and for men. So it could be anything else. And, they would probably do other activities. Earlier, it was very gender specific. Now it is gender agnostic. Cooking can be a ritual for anybody. If two people are cooking together, community cooking is such a beautiful thing. And so similarly, stitching, I came back to that. And it helped me reconnect. And a couple of my friends, we stitched online silently on a Zoom call.
Oh, wow.
And we would write. Till date, I write with my colleagues on silent calls. 11 to 1, we'll sit silently and we write. We're writing our own work on a Gmeet, but we are together. So, I mean, these are rituals that can be brought back, and that connectivity or the aspect of togetherness.
Now, as long as we're talking the word ritual, so when people start thinking about ritual, a lot of things pops up in their mind.
Yeah.
And we were not talking about some specific kind of ritual. I'm going to go into something very specific here. Is there any specific ritual that we don't use much nowadays, but it would be really good for modern life?
Writing.
Writing.
Physical writing. We are so consumed with swipes.
Mm-hmm.
Physical writing is one. Barefoot walking.
Barefoot walking.
In cultures like ours or Japanese culture, we still like when I entered this, we removed our shoes.
We remove our shoes. Yes.
This is nobody has told you remove. You've not put a tag outside. Some places you need to remove your shoes because people are used to. Like in the north, it's so cold. You can't keep removing your shoes 10 times, which is understandable. So it has to be climatic, cultural orientation. But coming back to the roots in terms of a ritual, like I have a chapter on barefoot walking. I have a chapter on stitching. I have a chapter on sari draping. I have a chapter on muggu. So these are things I got back and I understood what is the emotion as a material object, and there's an emotion. I decluttered. I would say that helped me. I won't say decluttered, ED. It helps me think through and let go. If I do that ritual using that object, there is an emotion that I'm touching. And I'm becoming more and more aware of it. And that has its own graph up and down. But it helps me feel lighter and feel good or look good.
Okay.
And these come from the ancient rituals. For me, I would tag writing and barefoot walking as my rituals which are lost and I would want to revive.
So is there any rituals? You have a teenager in your house now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
For teenagers and other teenagers who are watching right now, Gen Zs and all, and some millennials also. Is there any specific, or this, excluding this barefoot or writing, is there something they should do?
Squatting.
Squatting?
There's one more chapter in that because squatting, we're so used to sitting on chairs all the time.
Yes.
Our grandmothers, grandparents, and a lot of them can, at the age of my Bodavappa in Odia, like Pednangaru, we say in Telugu, he's 90. And just few days ago, we were together and we all were sitting on the floor, my cousins and all. Everybody speaks Kannada, Telugu, a mix. Suddenly, he just joins us, sits on the floor with us. He's 90 years old, squats. I mean, he just sits with his cross-legged.
Cross-legged.
And he gets up squatting. He's 90. And
without any support or anything?
Nothing. And he's talking, sitting, relaxed with his legs spread out, chatted 1-2 hours. He sat with us and he got up relaxed. So we have forgotten the floor.
Okay.
Only our feet touch the floor, not our bodies. And I keep telling my son, sit on the floor. And that's the teenage thing because he's so digitally oriented. And I can't stop him because hours he will game. His work, his assignments are on the laptop. And I can't say because my grandparents lived without electricity. Can I live without electricity today? It's something like that. Can I tell him to live without a phone? I can't. The only thing is I can just bring in some awareness by telling him, leave it and lie down on the floor. Or squat on the floor. Sit in that squatting position. So earlier people would poop, right? Now we have high thrones of commodes, right? So squatting is like it's in the book, the whole thing is, the title of it says, crouch to release what? That's the title. So a lot of yogic, there is a asana called malasana, which is mal means the toxins waste and all waste, and asana is obviously the pose. So sitting in that asana is actually toxin releasing and emotion releasing. So there is a lot of chakra orientation, and also it compresses our intestines, compresses our reproductive organs, and gives you more movement internally, not just physically, out externally. So this is one I would like to introduce, and I keep pushing my son to squat in a day. So he sits for long and I'm like, go squat 5 minutes. Squat and do some push-ups, squats like sit-ups rather, a couple of times. So he finds it very annoying. He hates me for it. And if I tell you today to squat and you'll do 2 and you'll be like, I'm done, please, she's so annoying. You know, that's the first thing we think because your body is resisting, not that I'm telling you to do. You're resisting that.
True.
So sitting, I think that's something, that's a ritual we all would like to. We are, and I spoke to an orthopedic, 2-3 orthopedic surgeons also. They all say that today if you have a back problem, they'll make you exercise first in physio. Other than all those things, what is the first thing they give you is movement. So we avoid movement for pain. Actually, movement caused, the lack of movement is causing you pain. It's the other way around.
Whoa.
So we have to move. If you're sitting 1 hour on the desk, so this orthopedic surgeon suggests get up, 2 minutes squat. And he says in an hour, live 2 minutes in every hour like an animal. Climb, crawl, crouch, and climb, crawl, crouch, sit, other than sitting at a desk. So every 2 hours, if you do that of 2 minutes, the number of movements that you're adding in a day is equivalent to good movement, cardio.
Wow.
So and I started applying it because we don't have Indian commodes in our house anymore. We all have Western commodes. So you can use a squat stool to.
Yes, they come nowadays.
They come nowadays, and it really helps. Or you can just squat, do some exercises or movements. Whole time, if you're sitting 5 hours at a desk, even today when I'm writing continuously, there are 4-5 hours, then you feel the pain.
Yes, it feels weird over here.
Weird sensation.
As if something is gripping you.
Gripping you. Oh. It's density. We are sitting with gravity. So you lie down on your stomach called the Advasana, and you lie down for some time, squat for a few minutes. So there is a sequence you can do. You don't need to know yoga for this. Squatting
basic
is one.
Movement in the body.
Yeah.
I have a friend of mine. So he's into IT and all. So he's been sitting a whole day in this weird Tetris block kind of a position. And now he has got something like, the doctor said that he will never be out of the pain. It's a permanent thing now.
Yeah.
And he used to be athlete once.
It's really.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it boggles my mind. Like this guy who was like the best amongst us, and now he's like gone because he's sitting from morning to night in front of his PC.
Correct.
Doing what he was doing.
Continuously with the mouse or with our whatever.
There's a
fingers.
clot over here because it's constantly hand is like
you
this.
see our thumbs, because of texting thumb, we get pain in our thumbs.
Okay.
We are constantly texting, right? What is the position of the thumb? Ours, neck is down, texting like this. So in yoga, I try to self-correct and try to say that let's try to do this together. So I think squatting is something I struggle to apply on a daily basis. I have become better, and to tell my teenage son who's just beginning his life to infuse it with his digital life.
Because digital will be there, you like it or not. Yeah, it is part of everything now.
Now AI will take over, and
yes.
And then what happens in the next 10 years? Or by then I'll be older, but he will still be in the peak of his 20s, and then what happens?
Everything has to be digital.
Yeah. So that's one ritual I feel that, and again, writing is that ritual, and again using your fingers and clawing, grip and hook are two actions we do.
So is there something in your digital sphere that you would like to declutter?
Selfies.
Selfies. Not the random food shots.
I don't take a lot of food shots. Very few.
Okay.
Selfies
so you're one of the person who just
much.
eats first, not the photo.
For everything. I forget to click pictures easily, but yet I click if I really like something. But selfies is something I feel that I've been doing a few times because I wanted to face the camera with social media and stuff. But having said that, I don't think we are meant to document our face. So historically, I don't know if you've heard of Narcissus, right? This Roman, it was actually Metamorphosis, if I'm wrong, Odeva is a Roman poet and a writer who wrote Metamorphosis, like I think 8th century, I can't recollect the date, but 2,000-3,000 years ago. And Narcissus was a character who was cursed that he will keep looking at his reflection and die.
Yeah.
So he kept looking at his reflection, got so obsessed with himself, then he dies and he becomes a reflection or a flower or something. It's a Roman mythological tale. And later, some psychologists in late 1800s picked it up as a Narcissus-like syndrome. Then Sigmund Freud took it up. So according to all these experts, they say we're not meant to keep documenting our face.
Okay.
Age is happening automatically. Someone else will tell you it's fine, but everybody doesn't know. So nobody comments on wrinkles and pimples and hair and white hair. And you accept whatever I can see, I'm accepting. I'm not seeing my face constantly. So selfies, I'm not saying it's wrong or right. All I'm saying is obsessive, this thing. I think for me, even those selfies can go. I've used them for whatever reason, but I don't need them for posterity.
Okay.
I don't want to go back to selfies after and keep comparing and feeling sad about it. I just want to be happy in how I'm aging now. So, it doesn't let you age.
Yeah, kind of.
That's I think the most decluttering thing I want to focus on. Where next, my photographs also, maybe the younger photographs, as you keep going back to them. It's nice to have few nostalgic.
Would it be right if I say it puts you in a state of delusion that I'm still that person, but not accepting who I am right now?
It can. I don't know. If you get obsessed with your own photographs and say 10 years ago I was like this, I want to be the same. You cannot be the same.
You're ignoring now. By doing that, we are ignoring our now.
Exactly. So I would rather say that, okay, 1 or 2 faces 10 years ago, this is how I used to look. Look at the memory behind the selfie. It's great. It's a photograph. Not look at my close-up of my face and I had less white hair and I had 5 wrinkles lesser and my skin was so beautiful and I was fairer or darker or whatever. Comparison, selfies can create that. I would like to take that off in my head. But then we can't avoid it also because see, this podcast will be there for whatever time. So I'm seeing myself. That is true. I will be seeing myself. So I can't say, but in my phone, I don't want to see it every time. It can be there. Or I don't want to frame my photographs on the walls. So yeah.
My God. Now, and the thing about the narcissism you just said, I guess the word actually hits like a very negative thing. Are you narcissist or something like that?
Yeah.
But subconsciously, they are not aware that slowly they're becoming that way.
See, they say it's a degree of it is healthy. As a child, you keep looking at yourself or putting some decoration on yourself, or little kids when they grow up. Little bit of self-love is important. Obsession isn't.
Yeah.
So, I would say narcissism in today's context, I'm no psychology again, I don't know anything about all that. But I feel it's a degree of overdoing it. That's all.
I guess when obsession comes in, love goes away.
Any obsession is overdone. That's
overdone,
all. That's the philosophy, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll never know actually about this. And now, going back to this ancient ritual thing that we were talking about, well, what I have come to know till now in this conversation, that you have tried a lot of ancient rituals that basically we in our daily mundane life, we don't use ancient rituals that much, but you are trying to incorporate it. But when you're doing this, there might be certain moments, certain rituals which might have, didn't turn out to be that way. You might have failed, or some kind of failed would be a very big, very imposing word. It would be more like didn't turn out that way. Did something happen? Any ritual? Something funny? Something weird? Something?
Yeah, there is.
Didn't see
Squatting
that
is one where I try doing it on a regular basis. It's failed, like in terms of a traditional. You don't squat to poop anymore, literally. That is one thing. You can't do it. It's ridiculous now. So yeah, we can't now get our bathrooms back to what it was 100 years ago. And so that is one. And the second, I would say from a failure point of view, I won't call it a failure literally, but I didn't engage with them. It was food-centric rituals for me because I'm not somebody who, I cook, full stop. I cook well, or I cook to enjoy cooking. No, I cook as a skill, life skill. I can cook, I can feed, I cook well enough for others to eat, that's enough. But the food rituals, like if you see using an object like that silbatta or the stone grinding thing. So I was very enamored, or a pickle jar for pickling. I started writing on that. I started researching on those objects, food-centric objects, right? And or kasha as a metal, kasha plates and bowls and what we use in our cultural context. But I realized that wouldn't work for me because I am somebody, the object has become more important in design-centric aspect than the ritual of using it. Because I'm not the pickle jar, what in Telugu we call it jadi. And which is the white ceramic jar with the brown lid. You see a lot of decoration items and
that's
stuff.
That's the aesthetic of a pickle jar.
Yes.
Like when you imagine pickle jar is that pickle jar.
Yes, so pickle jar is that. But how many of us pickle? Do we make pickles?
No.
We don't. We like pickles. Somebody else makes it, we eat it.
Grandmoms used to do.
Grandmoms. Now we don't make. There are brands which make, we buy those pickles. So it's become more commercialized. It's become more commodity oriented. So accept it. It's not a failure, but it's just acceptance that that's something I don't want to venture into. I want to fermenting, pickling, or silbatta work, or idli paste on that thing like my grandmom used to do, or chutneys on that. Somebody loves cooking, enjoys it as a ritual every single day, or loves learning about cooking or doing it more regularly. For them, it's a ritual. So I have accepted that I am a failure at that.
Okay.
I don't want to be struggling if I have an hour making a paste with someone who loves cooking, like my husband loves cooking, and he's like every third day he watches a nice lost and rare recipe and he does it. So for him, that ritual becomes important. So he will be doing it more regularly and I don't. I do it, but he does it with joy and a lot of fervor for the recipe or the product or the material. So I think that way, yeah, it's been. And funny thing is, yes, when you try to squat for long and then you fall on your face, or when you are making the muggu on the floor and you realize that you can't do it like your grandmom. Just leave it. Don't struggle. You can't break your back over something which is trying to be in this ego that I want to bring something back. You cannot bring it back.
It should align with your everyday.
Yeah.
Kind of. Like you cannot force yourself like you have to do it, then it's your everyday. No.
Yes, you don't need to.
Just balance out, sync properly.
Yeah. And it's body mind comfortable. It shouldn't put you in guilt, shame, or any emotion which is making you feel heavy and miserable.
We talk about a lot of this body mind thing. You also said body mind is not two different things, but
for me, I don't know if that's philosophically the case. Like if you notice, what's the first thing before an exam? Where do you feel it? Before an exam, what do you feel?
Yeah. That heartbeat, the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And suppose you're scared.
And it also feels like a pain.
Yes.
Like not pain actually, something is holding me from within.
So your body is reacting to an emotion.
Okay, now I get that.
So it's body mind. So many people will fear something and they will want to go to the loo 10 times, lose motions. It's like, you want to go and pee or you want to go and like.
Yes.
So your body is giving you intuitive signals. And so the first fear, love, joy is here. Stress and tension, your eyes will become like this and you'll get headaches. And if you're constantly stiff and trying to perfect something, you'll get like shoulder, body aches.
We feel this stiffness.
Constantly you're in a digital space and you're trying to perfect something. What happens to your body?
I feel this, as if somebody is holding me.
Yes, we all feel that, right?
I feel like I'm being hung in a hanger.
Yes. And you want to stretch, you want to go like relax, lie down on the bed. Your body is asking for relaxation. And that your mind is creating the body like hiccups, and your body is causing your mind to panic again. So it is cyclical. So it's one entity.
Never thought that way.
So think, where do you feel that pain or emotion, whatever you feel?
When you're happy,
you're angry, what do you feel?
Okay.
What happens to your body when you're angry? That's the feeling, right? We end up
Yes.
breathing here.
Yeah.
It's called shallow breathing or clavicular breathing in yoga. So we end up puffing and angry and that emotion. So your body gives signals. That is body mind.
It is one. I'm saying it from what I have realized.
Scientific knowledge of this, but I'm just saying probably it is one to me.
It feels one now after listening to this, because whenever we used to go through we were like, we never focus on these things.
Yeah.
Or now that you're saying me right now.
Your mind is telling your body to punch somebody when you're angry. No?
Yes.
So it's one only, how the hand is getting up, it's making the fist. You did this to me. It can be a punch or it's a hello.
Hello, yeah.
But what is the intention?
Fist bump. Just moving the fist towards
friendly gesture.
Friendly gesture.
If I do this,
that's no longer friendly.
Now what is happening in the mind before that action?
I was like, did it wrong somewhere?
You change the gesture, right?
Yes,
the whole emotion drives your body.
Magnificent, actually. Yeah. We are so
emotion is, a lot of people will say energy in motion. That's an emotion. So it draws you and pushes your body to act or react or respond.
Okay. Now going back to the book, your book includes 9 retellings of clothing, home and body. Can you show traditional garments like saris? Now, how can these garments help in decluttering and getting into it?
Sari, as I said, and a lot of our cultural context in India is sari as a garment.
We also talked about the katha thing.
Yes.
But no, sari one,
Yeah, katha is the stitching part of it. Now, sari is draping, like we are knotting. So tucking, knotting, draping, pleating, folding.
Wow.
These are the techniques we use. Think of a dhoti.
Okay.
What do you do in a dhoti? You're just not covering your chest, but what are the actions that are happening?
We take it down, we tuck it. Okay.
So all these actions are happening in a dhoti, right? So your body is moving with the fabric and the fabric is moving with your body. There's an interaction that happens. Now, according to a lot of aspect of fashion, unstitched fabric is just a weave off the loom, right? Hand loom is just rectangle. You can increase the length, width, whatever you want. We have a lot of weaves from Odisha, which are obviously tribal weaves. We have Sambalpuri, Barampuri, Kotpad, and tons of Odisha weaves, and every weave has its own history, story, culture, geography, personality, character. So if you go look at that, it's all a simple rectangle, but it has the potential to go into any shape you want on your body. A fabric, an unstitched piece of fabric. Unlike a shirt is a shirt, a stitched piece is a shirt. I can't wear a shirt like a pant.
No.
Whereas I can wear a sari like a pair of trousers.
Yes.
I can use
this Marathi way, the way we
yes, that
Marathi
is
ladies.
one chapter is on that. It's called the Kachakattu Chera. In Telugu, Kachakattu is the loin tucking in. There are many ways of doing the bifurcated sari style. Like a dhoti is that. So one is the mund, which is like flat wrap. Then there is the dhoti, which is tucking it, pancha in Telugu, and we take it. Even bhainas and puja and stuff like that, they end up wearing it, right? Of course, it had a lot of Brahminical and a lot of other Hindu contextuality. But the fabric is not saying I'm Hindu.
No, it's just fabric.
It's just fabric, and it's just a handloom. It is just a weave, and you can play with it the way you want. So if you use these techniques and use your body. For me, when I started going back, so my grandmom would wear it. Of course, she would do the Hindu rituals by praying to the tulsi plant, lighting a lamp, wearing a wet sari. Because when they do ritualistic aspects, they feel the cleansing. So they do it in wet clothes. I obviously couldn't have done that. Living in a flat, I'll sit with a wet sari and I couldn't have. It is, I mean, it's just not, I don't connect to that. That's the first thing. For me, with the sari was something when I started wearing it, we think when I look at a dhoti or look at a sari, we think it's constricting. The person can't move. But if you look at traditional Vedic clothing or traditional old type of clothing, is a dhoti, even if you see the north clothing of Angrakhas and the heavy dresses, they could fight in them, they could ride horses in them, they could cook in them, they could go upside down in them, they could do anything. So it didn't stop them from doing the other actions, even difficult actions. Climb a tree, carry babies, they would do everything. Rani Lakshmibai was wearing the kashayam with that sari. So the sari went in the way you want. You want to carry babies, you want to carry mangoes, you want to carry firewood, the sari. You see a lot of people, they put the thing on top, gamcha, they tie a thing and they carry pots. The same gamcha goes on the face, covers the head. Same gamcha becomes a wrap. Same gamcha becomes a neck thing. Same gamcha will become a pillow. It has multiple narratives. A square piece of handloom cloth, cotton cloth. So it is a shape shifter. We can't do this with a pair of jeans, we can't do it with. I'm not saying that's wrong. We all end up, today I'm wearing it. But if you go back to that, then you realize there's a lot of freedom in it.
True.
It gives you the freedom to shape it according to your body. Tomorrow, if I put on weight, I may not fit in this shirt. Sari, it's not like that. It's very forgiving. It will adjust according to I just knot it. I don't wear a petticoat. I tie it like this. I can do yoga in it upside down. So the title goes, can I go up? Can I breathe in this sari? It still is breathable. It's cotton. It's hand woven, and it helps me go into a split also. Normal sari will not let me go into a split. A nivi drape as we call it. Whereas if I tie it that way tighter, I can do my yoga also. So you see a lot of, in Odisha, you go to the temples. They sit on the floor, they get up, they do things in the dhoti, right? Nobody's stopping them from doing those activities. So I looked at it like that as a perspective, and I felt that that particular bifurcated trouser drape is seen as constriction, but can be liberating if I change my perspective and try to use it on my body. So I started wearing it and knotting it, wearing my sari without a petticoat. Typically we match a like women will end up matching a petticoat, blouse, 3 garments. So the re-philosophy came into my life where I started upcycling my mother's saris, reusing them with shirts. I wear saris with a shirt like this. So I don't need a matching blouse or a matching petticoat. I can have any petticoat with it. Or not wear a petticoat if I'm tucking the sari into my, the bifurcated style. So that was decluttering in the sense of the word, that I could let go of the fear of my body, how it will react or act in that fabric or with that fabric. So there was letting go. I got back to the ritual that my grandmom did without religion, without superiority of a caste, quote unquote, without the aspect of trying to perfect it. I'm not perfectly pleating, pinning, there's no safety pins, there is no perfection. So there is beauty in that imperfection there.
Yes.
And if you see a dhoti, it's never perfect. Unless you do that lovely fan dhoti of Bengal, which is for royalty. That has its own art and beauty and brilliance. You want to do that, no harm. That if you want to go wear a gamcha like a dhoti, a half dhoti, and you can cycle.
We can actually.
So this is what, if you look around you, there are people doing this. So it's not gone, it's not died. It's just forgotten and ignored. So when I went back, I started relaxing and my body started relaxing and I let go of all these fears, idiosyncrasies, what do you call, dogmas, rigidity. So that was liberating with my own body and mind. And so mind is telling me that the sari is restrictive. And then I wear the same sari and I move, I cook, I clean, I sat, I squat and I lie down. And I realized, oh, it's not that hard. My mother was living in a sari 24/7, 365 days. And she started wearing nighties much later, before she passed away, during dementia and stuff like that, where sari was identity. She would hallucinate about her saris. And she would speak only in Odia. Although we were Telugu speaking, she would speak to me in Odia. And she said, "Kaun pindhi dechu matte? Nighty pindhi dechu matte? Ma ke kaun ke bhabhi ve dekhegi?" You know how it is? Like, it was her mind telling her that I've lost my identity. Nighty is below her imagination. So I realized that was a part of it. So when I watched all this, her brain was, then she accepted the nighty and she would say, I never wore a sari properly in my life. And that was a lie, because she always wore saris. So brain was telling her something else.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So it was scary and also very liberating, seeing her let go of that decluttered brain. And I took care of her for years and it was interesting.
Oh my God.
So that's how I connected the dots between a material object like a sari and liberation and all the emotions. So I think it's very complex and chaotic.
Now we have been talking about decluttering, cluttering, decluttering and all. But you know, the way I was saying it, I will put full blame on myself now if I mess it up. So the way I'm saying it, decluttering can be synonym with minimalism. Yeah. Is decluttering minimalism, or both are different?
It's a very interesting point. Firstly, minimalism was it's not a trend, it's not something which we brought back. No, minimalism was there, it's there in nature.
Okay.
We only use, if you look at a dog or a cow, it only uses what it needs.
Yes.
They are minimal by default because they follow the laws of nature. If you follow the laws of nature, we're minimal. We cannot bring in or bring out or take away and nothing. We don't have that power. Let's not put ourselves in that superior stance that we're bringing something in. No. But what we can do in minimalism is mostly in terms of things. Is use, if I have one pair of specs, I can add one more, sunglasses suppose. Yeah. Minimalism is understanding I have two pairs today and let's use it optimally for the longest time, instead of looking at the Instagram posts and everything and buying another pair, then another pair, then another pair, and you're forgetting. And we're lining up all those pairs. Now that is going into space of excess. Now it's like a band, it's a spectrum. So if law of the nature says this is what you need, like the Abraham Maslow's need, want, desire, and the thing. Need, if we stay in the space of need, it's great. But we don't. As humans, we have wants, we have desires, which is great. How much is on that spectrum? I can't be having 100 pairs of shoes. Today, I have more than 10 pairs of shoes. As on today, I might talk about decluttering and all, but because I need one for probably when I go to the mountains, I need trekking shoes. I need sneakers. Let's like a close pair of shoes because I used to live in Delhi and stuff, boots. Then I need chappals, need home chappals because you're moving in those environments. In the earlier days, it was by default minimal because the geography or the amount we used to move or live was much lesser. We used to live in the same geography. They never interacted so much with people. Now it's different. We travel, we take a flight. You can't go bare feet. Everybody can't be barefoot celebrities or people. So we need slippers, we need to walk, and the grass is not clean. The footpaths are full of broken glass and unnecessary stuff which we can't walk on. And sand, if you walk on sand, you might have pieces of glass on it.
True.
So let's look at it very practically. Nothing is sanitized. Earlier it was better, so they could do that. So minimalism is about understanding in the today what it is, and decluttering is about making sure every time you come back to that point of enoughness, the optimum.
Enoughness.
Place of where this much.
This was right for me.
Yeah, I have this much. Let's try to every time keep rechecking, like stock taking.
Okay.
I have 5 pairs of jeans. Do I need the 6th? Or right now let's make do with 5. When I need the 6th, okay, let me let go of 1, bring in 6. So then it's again back to 5. Right? So I have let go of that 1 which I'm not using. So this balance is what I feel in clothing or things in your house. You have 1 pair of 1 carpet. You don't need 3 carpets to keep changing every week. 1 carpet is for now enough. So earlier they would survive with 1 carpet. Now we get greedy looking at images and we say, let's own 1 more carpet. With this decor, we need this. Or with this shirt, we need these pair of pants. Can I reuse this pant 5 times? That thinking is where I would say minimalism comes from. Again, we get confused with, so decluttering leads to minimalism. And if you have a minimal thinking, you will be decluttered.
Egg and the chicken again. Yes.
And also austerity and minimalism, we get confused. We can't be monks. Then you might as well go and live in Himalayas, no? Can I live in a dhoti and 1 pair like a monk and go live with 1 table, 1 chair? We are not able to. We live in this life and we need stuff we have. Austerity is one philosophy which probably you need to be very evolved and philosophically, spiritually, other ways, and let go of a lot of stuff. We cannot. Don't try to achieve austerity like a monk. You will always struggle. And don't try to be in excess. Minimalism is in between.
The balance.
So when you keep decluttering constantly, you know that newspapers are hoarding, give it for recycling. You know you have e-clutter, electronic clutter, wires, this, that. Organize it, put it in boxes, and go to an e-waste center. Don't throw it in the dustbin. You're getting the thing? I'm just adding unnecessarily. Go to an e-waste center and give it there. You have excess pair of clothes. There are many online platforms, many companies which take back old clothes and they use it for other things. Or you go donate the clothes. Find alternatives and close the loop.
Okay.
That will help you create your minimal lifestyle. Not about feeling that, oh, I'm great and I want to be austere. I'll only have 10 pairs of clothes.
This is very much needed for the present generation right now because the way the visual things are coming through Instagram or whatever, and Instagram is not even a shopping app. So,
but that's how it is.
But it's coming
algorithm is pushing you.
Exactly.
That's the word.
That
pushing you.
Us.
And we are getting pushed. We are like pushovers and we are constantly buying. And
we are pushover with the attitude of a person who's not a pushover.
Yeah.
We are like, it doesn't affect me, but you've seen this one.
Yeah. And we all, like before coming, I bought journals. I bought 10 journals. Now I realized that my journals are over. I write journaling or doodle. That's when I said, okay, let me buy a bunch of 10 journals. I usually gift them or I use them. So this was a buy out of, I saw it on Instagram and I bought it because I love the artwork. But the fact is, it's something I use. Now the minimalist in me will say, let's use my son's old notebook. But the artist in me will say that, okay, I want a nice journal. So I bought the 10 journals because my other journals are over. So I don't feel guilty buying it because I'm using it. Now I have 2 art books and I have some extra papers of my son and then I end up buying these journals, then there'll be guilt. That's not minimal.
Yeah.
So it is need-based.
Something people need to hear this out very well.
It's like, it's a struggle I go through every day and we all go through. I look at my own saris. I shouldn't buy saris. I'm like an ambassador for slow fashion movement. It's a global movement. And you can pledge and say next 1 year I'll not buy anything. It's hard. We struggle. So I upcycle, I recycle, I reuse, I reduce. This is a challenge and we build a community. We talk about this. There are a lot of people you say, okay, have you bought something? So this community helps in helping you stay minimal or helping you declutter and helping you organize. But again, it's tough because I did get gifts from people as saris because in our culture, sari is like you go to an elderly person, touch their feet and sari becomes a gift in our context.
Yes.
Now I got new saris. So I'm like, it's not like, oh, I can't avoid that. I can't say I don't want a sari because I've signed a pledge.
No.
We can't do that. 90-year-old Badappa giving me a sari, I'll be like, okay, thank you. I'll take it. So there I can't apply my minimalistic theory. It's a cultural context. And somebody is giving you a nice gift. Accept with this. Then now think, can I use it or not use it? I will not use it and throw it and forget about it. I will reuse it, recycle it, give it to somebody who needs it. That's when I close the loop.
Perfectly said, actually. You know, when I asked the question, I didn't know that there were so many loopholes out there to the reaction when you have this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Thank you for, every time, because the question comes up in my mind, if I have to do this, if they say, will I say no to that? Just answer that. Because you first need to know your standing.
Yeah. First go back, open your wardrobe and see what is it in my wardrobe that I have. Stock take.
Yes.
We have these purchase orders create karne se pehle stock taking karo.
Yes.
That's a philosophy. We don't look back into our wardrobes or our minds and our lives and what is it we are holding on, and we keep adding. So that's the thing.
So now I want to ask you one thing. What's next for you? Is it gonna be like decluttering, the journey of decluttering, or bringing in something new, like some new old traditional things in your life? So what's next for you?
Decluttering is something that will keep happening.
It's lifestyle, I guess, now.
Yeah, it's a part of me. When I built Revastra as a platform. I want to work on that. I call something called re-philosophy, and again, quote unquote, I call it fashion healing, because it has been ing, it's never healed. It's in the continuous, and it's something, philosophy is again, we relive, reapply, try, fail, experiment, all of that. So I want to write more stories about these two concepts, which are very interlinked. Decluttering is like the beginning and the end of it. It's a physical and an emotional manifestation of it. But the premise is this, where I want to feel lighter, look good, feel good. I can't be all shabby and keep attending stuff, so I need good clothes. At the same time, I can't not have thoughts and become like a monk, so I will have clutter in my head. I can't not take pictures. My phone will have clutter, my laptops will have clutter. But every single time, come back to it, that periodically when you can start letting go. So that is, I can do that storytelling, which is writing more and more about it. I want to focus on building more books and little graphic books and ebooks and stuff like that on the same topics. And with Revastra, I'm also building workshops and sessions for awareness and stuff, which I do, where people do journaling, where people do a little bit of, sari draping, or even if it's men and stuff, it's not necessarily they drape a sari, but they can do other things, and where you are looking at all these rituals and applying it to your life and staying in that moment of pause and reflecting upon your own life. So those workshops just stay in that pauses or those gaps and create more community-centric groups. And so workshops is one, writing is one. So both come under the purview of teaching and writing for me.
Okay, so that's what's next.
That's what is next. I think this is what it is, and I want to keep learning yoga. And when I can conduct sessions which are related to this again, mind-body meditations and movement and combination of both.
The fact of movement one, it's actually, made me think, because I've shared my friend's experience also.
Yes.
I was like, it's so much needed.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, now we have come to the ending of our beautiful conversation.
Thank you.
And now, before we leave, we have a small, rapid fire. And I'm just gonna, what rapid fire is. Just gonna ask you.
I have asked rapid fires and I never faced them. I've not been on the receiving end.
Teacher, every student who are watching her right now, your teacher is in my mercy.
I am on the receiving end.
Receiving end. Okay. Here I begin. Tea or coffee for decluttering mornings? Which one?
Tea.
Tea. Nice. What's the weirdest thing you have ever found while decluttering?
What is it?
Weirdest thing.
Weirdest
thing.
I was decluttering my father's trunks, army trunks, which have their names written, and I had
big metal ones.
The big metal ones. We had over 15 trunks, and both my parents passed away. The Bhubaneswar house I was decluttering. And I found a trunk which had my kaka, as in my father's younger brother's stuff. And that was in our house for 30 years. When I broke the lock and I opened the trunk, I found rice and dal in jars. And I have no idea why they were there. Must be 30-year-old rice and dal, and they were intact.
Wow.
Because they were in a locked metal trunk. Obviously, I had to throw it, but I think for the next 10 minutes, I just sat and I didn't know if I should cry or laugh or what was that.
Yeah.
In what? And because my kaka had some mental health issues.
Okay.
So it is highly possible that he felt that he's going to die, or there would be something, some scarcity. We have no idea what caused him to do that, and he kept that trunk with my dad for safekeeping.
Wow.
And my dad, it was his own trunk, and he said, "You put your stuff in it." So his name was written on it. I assumed it's my dad's trunk, and then I connected the dots, and I realized it's my dad's brother's trunk. So that was the weirdest decluttering thing when I found. And of course, other than tons of books and papers, which were the oddest, and they were not really odd, but yeah, letters with rice and dal was the most strangest.
30 years, right? 30 years old.
Probably
rice and
30.
Probably.
Yeah.
My
I remember when I was a kid, that trunk was at home. So obviously I have grown. So the trunk has stayed and survived those years.
My God. Next. If you could have any superpowers for organizing, what would it be?
I don't know if any of you are Harry Potter fans.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, and and Game of Thrones and the whole thing. And I watch. So Wingardium Leviosa.
Things starts levitating.
And levitating, you don't have to take the weight of it, and we start shifting it to places where people need, without really having to think through, organize, and then move.
It's immediately just put it like this and
exactly.
like this going on.
Like how you can move with a wand, and I wish I had that kind of a power with my hands to just move.
That will actually make a lot of things easier.
Yeah.
And take a lot of maids working, like get maids unemployed.
Yes, we could just move things and put it back and play with.
Fantastic.
I think I know there's a word for it. I don't remember what's it called, but you can move with energy and stuff.
Levitating is to like
up.
Float.
There's also moving.
Mm-hmm.
I can't recollect now. Certainly, there's a word for it. But anyways, so that's I wish
superpower.
I had that superpower.
Telekinesis, I guess.
You're right. I think that's.
I think it's telekinesis.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Think so.
Yep. Yeah.
Yes,
I
watch those kind of videos.
Yes, and I watch and I forget those videos. My memory fails completely.
That's okay. Now next, which ancient practice from your book would you turn into a TikTok challenge?
Honestly, I've never used TikTok.
I like you. You're a very good person.
I know what a TikTok is, but I have never watched TikTok and I've never used it. And I should just, for a lot of youngsters watching this, they would be like, completely write me off as an old school auntie. Of course, I'm an auntie here, but I'm just saying that completely. Please feel free to write me off, but I don't know how that world works. But having said that, a reel maybe is what I can tell you.
We can go with reel.
I think I would want to. Is it for myself or is it for others? What's the question?
What would you want? For others. You and others. Like, you practice
as
it, then you pass it on.
challenge?
As a challenge, yeah.
Wearing a sari or a dhoti and going upside down.
Handstand.
Handstand or whatever. Try to move. Knotting it, pleating, tucking and all, and then move in it.
That sounds too trendy, you know.
Yeah.
Sounds
I
interesting.
wear my
also.
saris with boots and stuff, and that will be fun and challenging. And try it with a dhoti, with your dad's dhoti if you're a guy watching this, and if you're a girl, try it with a sari, or do it with a dupatta or like a dhoti. Who's stopping you?
I can give it a try.
Gender agnostic clothing.
I'll give it a try. I'll not make a video out of it. Embarrassment.
I can't practice my handstands because of my neck thing, but having said that,
I'm not embarrassed about the sari and dhoti. I'm just embarrassed about the handstand.
Handstands or headstands.
Headstands or whatever.
Yeah. Please don't break your necks. It's not it's not one of those challenges. But I'm just saying, forget handstands and headstands if you don't want to do. I would say wear it. Do your daily chores.
Oh, that's more like it. Yeah.
Cooking, cleaning, sleeping, walking, grocery. Just do that much. Forget headstand and handstand. Don't ignore it.
Okay.
I didn't say that.
We'll edit it out. No.
Cut.
Okay. Last, one word that describes your vibe while writing The Art of Decluttering.
Chaotic.
Huh? Chaotic?
Cluttered and chaotic. It's ironic. I
really
started from
coming,
there and...
Because decluttering is somehow what I felt is like to get
I
out of
haven't
chaos.
become a Zen like Baba today. So it is just that chaos has given me enough power to accept it and be in the present.
Chaos is not always bad. Chaos is chaos.
It's good to propel something.
Oh.
I look at this book like that. It started with chaos, and even today I'm as chaotic as ever, and I love it. What's
It is
wrong
what
in
it
it?
is.
Yeah, acceptance of the chaos. I've reached that stage.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
that's the vibe. So the
That's-
book is chaotic, so read it in parts. Don't try to finish it end to end.
Yeah.
I've written that in the beginning. And each chapter is an island, and you enjoy it, enjoy the space, and move to the next one. Build your own blueprint. You don't have to follow those rituals at all, what I mentioned. Make your own set. Be your own ruler of your own rituals.
Wow.
Create your own, destroy your own.
But take ownership of your own. Yeah.
Be in the present and see where you go.
Beautiful. And that's, my friends.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
That
Thank
was
you.
a lovely, longest conversation I have ever had related to the book. And I have no idea if people are going to even make sense of it. But let's hope somebody takes something back.
Yeah, they should. And the best thing, ma'am, thank you, first of all, thank you for
Thank
coming
you
over
so
here.
much. It was
It's
brilliant
lovely.
having a
It's lovely.
conversation with you, and a pleasure. And you have a lovely vibe to take this forward. And I hope you have more of these podcasts with a lot of other lovely people.
See?
Wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And that was, ladies and gentlemen, you are watching right now, was our conversation with Bhavana Pingali. I'm pronouncing your name always wrong.
Don't worry, it's a tongue twister.
It is tongue twister for me. It's not. I'm not acquainted with
That's
it.
completely all right.
So, and the most important part of this whole conversation was, for my take, will be the sari and dhoti aspect. Like, how can you have your normal life? And I believe that sari and dhoti was already very technologically advanced clothes. After this conversation, we chose jeans, which I'm wearing right now. I don't mind wearing jeans. Jeans is fantastic. But after listening what these things can do, well, we were not aware of it. And how little things that we do, little things that we see, like the ants climbing, taking a piece of sugar or rice, dots, is actually teaching us something. It's saying us something. It's saying us that it's fine. Pause a while. Look at me. How things going around. Be yourself and move on. The beauty of this conversation, the podcast, whatever you'd like to call, is that it was enlightening for me. Very enlightening. I am taking a lot from here. Hope you guys too. Read the book, watch the podcast, and stay tuned to Orissapost Live. Thank you.